What do Falcons do? We rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general, the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the Golden Hard Dog, and a lifelong sports fan. And today, guys, there's really not a lot going on in terms of news for the Falcons. We don't really have any major moves that have happened. There's talk that we might be trying to make a trade for Hassan Reddick. We may be trying to free up cap space to get other free agents. There are guys that I think we probably should cut. I plan to talk about that maybe in another few days or so. I will be in New Orleans for a conference next week, so I really won't have a lot of content coming out. I'll be in the home of our dreaded enemies, the New Orleans Saints. But I wanted to talk about something that is going to matter more for me this coming season. My wife and I are planning to do some travel in the fall. But one of the trips that I'm going to go on as a guys trip of other Falcons fans that I think would be fun because we all enjoy this place and we all enjoy watching the Falcons, whether we win, lose, or draw, is going to Las Vegas. And again, we play the AFC every single year. We play a division from them. And it rotates through like clockwork. We have played the same schedule of opponents dating back as far back as you can to the 16-week schedule. And what I have found is that there seems to be an overall pattern, and you can say within a week or so of these weeks is when we're probably going to be playing some of these games. And it affects me for travel because I also have some things that I'm playing with my wife, and then there's holidays and other events as well. So without further ado, let's talk about when we can expect the AFC opponents this year. And I would be willing to make a prediction that I'm right within a week of most of these once we actually get the schedule release in early May. Probably May 7th or May 8th if you look at what the NFL has done the last few years and when they have released the schedule. We don't have a confirmed date of that. For whatever reason, they confirmed the date of the draft, but they like to keep the date of the schedule release a secret all the way up to like the week of. Don't really understand that. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Seems like you can build a lot more hype knowing that there's a schedule release. But anyway, in the last 16 years, I went back and looked at all the data I could of when we played these teams, the AFC teams particularly, dating all the way back to 2008, just because I felt like that was a fairly relevant time. I just wanted to know, when did we play these guys? What did we average? And what I found is that our first game against AFC opponents tends to be within 1 week of week 4. We have actually not played, I don't know that we've ever actually played a week 4 matchup other than 2017. Looks like back through, maybe we have a few weeks, but within a week or two, almost exclusively, we can be expected week 3, 4, or 5, we will probably have an AFC matchup of some kind. Now, again, I don't know if that's going to be a home game. I don't know if it's going to be an away game. We play the AFC West this year, meaning that we are going to get the Chiefs at home. We get the the Las Vegas Chargers. No, not even Las Vegas Chargers. The LA Chargers at home, and we get the Denver Broncos in Denver, and we get the Las Vegas Raiders in Las Vegas. So we will probably be on the, we'll be on the road for 2 of them, we'll be at home for 2 of them, and we don't know which is which. But we're going to have week 4 within a week or two having our first game. And what we consistently see is that the NFL likes to pair up another AFC opponent within a fairly short amount of time. There have been weeks where we've gone 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 playing AFC opponents, and it's really averaged out to where the second game that we play is a week off of week 6, so 5, 6, or 7. You can anticipate that we will probably play 2 of our 4 AFC matches at least within the first few weeks of the season, in the first half. Then you come up to the third game. Now, the third game is a little bit wild because sometimes we'll play 3 games early and 1 at the tail end of the season. Sometimes we play at midway, and sometimes we don't play any games until after the midway point of the season, which has happened a couple of times in the last few years. But when you average it all out, when we're expecting to play that third game against AFC opponents is probably around week 10. Obviously, the bye week matters when we're talking about this. We don't know when that's going to be yet, but we're going to expect to have another game around week 10, and we would expect another game, the final game, to be around week 14. Quite often, we have seen it either be week 14, 15, or 16, but when you average it all together, all of the outliers, everything together, It ends up being about week 14 within a week or two. And I know that pretty much is saying, well, that means you're saying that, weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. That's like half the season that we could be playing this. Yes, but again, if you look at the numbers, I would be willing to bet within a week of that starting deviation. So again, week 4, week 6, week 10, and week 14, I would expect that we play all of our AFC opponents within a week of those dates on either side of it. Some of them may be exactly right. You never know what's going to happen, but if you're planning on going to some of these games, or if you're thinking about when Patrick Mahomes might be coming to Mercedes-Benz, you can start thinking about, well, he's either going to probably, that might be the end of September, the middle of October, the first part of November, kind of heading into Thanksgiving, and then the early part of December. That's generally when you might see some of these AFC opponents either in Atlanta or us to them. Now, if we are in Denver in the December matchup, that's going to be a heck of a hard environment to go to. Even though they don't have a great quarterback situation right now, and even though their defense has been torn apart, it's hard to play at Mile High in the winter. We are not a winter team. We need to be hosting home playoff games if we're going to have any success in the playoffs. We've never done well going to cold stadiums, whether it be regular season or whether it be playoffs. But guys, that's all I got for you. Just an interesting topic that I thought I'd look at today. Probably interesting more to me than it is to anybody else. I will have another video coming out probably later this week or the first part of next week where I go through some of the cap situation where we have the lowest current cap, and I think there are several moves that could get us back into positive to make a move for Hassan Reddick or to potentially get another guy out of free agency. Some of these guys that are holding out to see if the deals get sweeter or not. And again, later in free agency, you also get value out of these guys because you're not taking big swings at guys anymore. But thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. This is a video that, again, I think means more to me than it does to you guys, but I enjoyed looking at it and just kind of doing an exercise of when are we going to play these AFC opponents. Thank you guys, and as always, rise up.